Hales, highest score for the season, first MLC 50.
Yeah, this is the Alex Hales that a lot of us that have followed his career are used to, and also the LA Knight Riders when they bought him. They expected him to dominate. He's got long levers, clears the boundary with ease, and tonight he found it very easy going. Maxie got a chance to pass Kyron Pollard's amount of runs, going second to the all-time of Chris Henry Gale. 15,562. I wonder if that will ever get chased down.
Spiceman, 100 already this season. So important from the rider's perspective as well, that Hales in the runs. He's got cricket coming up for them in the Caribbean month or so. And Max Short, the captain, will continue. His first one went for 7. Rutherford took him on. He'll continue to challenge him. First ball after the break. Fletcher on a mission.
After a long break as well. Stand and deliver. No mucking around now, just 9 overs left for the LA Knight Riders, so you can't afford to give yourself a couple of deliveries to have a look. Might as well keep going.
Every time the ball goes around the field now, moisture. So that will be something for both teams now to have to contend with. You'll see the rides out.
I wonder what the conversation would have been with the LA Knight Riders situation, the platform that they've set. Department, they have certainly struggled. Projected scores putting them over 200. That's a well above par that we haven't necessarily seen here in Lauderhill. 188 is the highest score we've seen. Projected scores, if they continue on their merry way, 214. No doubt they'll want to just increase as they get into the latter part of their innings.
Extra fielder now on the offside for Fletcher, left of your screen. So 3 in the circle offside. Fletcher coming from around the wicket. Yeah, they'll know that they've got to go hard, 9 wickets in hand. We also know this Knight Riders team capable of a few retirements. So both batters will want to get a move on. Keep pushing.
A little bit lower. Surprised. I wonder, with a little bit more moisture on the outfield and the ball potentially picking that up, whether it'll just skid through a little bit. Surprise, Fletcher.
Again, placement. Strategic placement from Rutherford, who is going 1, 2, 3 for 1.
This has been a good finish to this over that has taken almost an hour to bowl. 11 runs. Most important thing, two boundaries. One at the front end, one at the back end.
And Brody Couch has been a bright spot for them this season with his express pace and the way he's bowled in the power play. In the most economical with the new ball. Now has a job to do in the middle phase. You could almost call it the back end of the innings, because the way the approach that we've seen from these two, and I think with just 8 overs left, they're going to go hard. So maybe he goes to some of his death bowling skills earlier. Yorkers, pace off deliveries. Could be some grit if that Ball is moist. He's starting with a deep backward square and deep fine leg. So short ball is an option. Also has his long on and long off. There is the short ball, but helped. It is a 45th T20 50 for the Spiceman. He's got 400s as well, one of them coming in this year's MLC.
This is a shot that is very much a trademark shot of his. Flicks it off the hip and it absolutely sails into the night sky. 13 feet, and team and his head coach very happy.
This is what Dwayne Bravo and the Knight Riders would have envisioned for their openers when they selected Fletcher and Hales at the beginning of the season. Go hard in the power play, get out of the power play, and continue to be aggressive. This hasn't been the consistency that they would have been looking for.
Taking a look at Andre Fletcher, you mentioned, yeah, absolutely buying their services. Played the first 2 games and then set out the next 3 and then came back strongly with that 100 and then has kind of tapered off again. Age 37, you never know how much longer you're going to get selected in these tournaments, so it's so important that when you get a start, you get the opportunity to open the batting, which pretty much most batters want to do in T20 cricket. You absolutely need to cash in.
He'd been pleased with that 100 for sure, Fletcher. And he's been in and around the West Indies setup maybe 12 months ago, and some questions coming out of the region as to if he can still contribute. At this stage of his career, he's showing you that he can. With that 100 earlier this season, the big thing for him in the Caribbean at least has been his strike rate and maintaining the tempo outside of the power play. Sometimes it tends to dip when the spinners come on. Now for the left-handed Rutherford, Field, he's got his deep point and deep third on the offside. Now there's a deep fine and backward square. This is a plan that bowlers tend to use, going across him and wide.
Definitely speedy deliveries Brodie Couch has, that if he can get it right, and especially now with Harris Ralph and his injury, maybe he can take over that role. Pretty bold, 88 miles an hour a delivery this over. Got to be at the stumps more often than not.
We'll be happy with the comeback, Couch, after going for a 6 first delivery. 1-3, 1-for-1.
Current run rate 10.92. His partnership 37 off 26. We'll be wanting LA Knight Riders is that Fletcher, the Spiceman, continues exactly how he started. Both openers going to 50. You don't want to see both of them get out just after the milestone.
Not too many times you don't see a smile on the face of Andre Fletcher. He is smiling now because he's put up a royal fantastic 50. Currently with 35 balls, he had 7 fours and a 6-2. Often through his career has been criticised for his strike rate and not going quite quick enough. However, it's been very good here. There's certain tournaments where he does really well with that strike rate. They're doing very nicely for his team, because they don't have a position to play for in the playoffs. This would be an amazing way to end the tournament for them if they can get a good score. That That is so well placed, and the fielding is excellent. Karima Gore is such a good fielder.
Oh, it's been a joy, isn't it, from LA, watching these guys cane it about and show their wares. Look at this on the field as well. Oh, you can get paid this week.
So you've enjoyed watching the batting?
You mentioned Spicy. He's been criticised, you're right, over the years. With those strike rates, he's fatted this. Oh, clean. Rutherford and Fletcher together.
Worries for the Unicorns. They are still going at such a good rate. Despite the break with the rain, they have kept going. No change for the Unicorns as we see yet another NTT6. This time off the bat of Rutherford. Ball was two. No, he's pushed that into a gap. Now, the Unicorns already had an injury issue with Haris Rauf, and unfortunately, a little bit earlier on, there was also a very unfortunate injury to Mario Shepard. He's not fielding the ball there. Just rolls over his ankle, and he's now gone to the hospital for some scans. He was in pain, had to be stretchered off the field as well. Really gotten hold of it, and certainly not in the direction he would have wanted, but nicely fielded.
Rain delays and then injuries. It's like that, unfortunate, but can upset your rhythm. Upset Fletcher has it. Out there enjoying himself. Spicy. See him back in the groove. Wonderful entertainer. Gets in and gets set and carves it. Over it at 12 already.
Well, these two have now put on 50 runs together, and that's only off 31 deliveries. Even contributions as well, both going at a good rate, this partnership.
LA, where was this earlier? Finally, it seems they've found a gear in the tournament, but they're already out of it as well.
He saw it coming, so he fired it in quick. Oh, that's an awful throw. Oh, completely wrong. He's lucky it's not going to cost him extra runs. It's 146 for one. With that over, the runs continue to flow. Flowing very nicely for the Knight Riders at the moment. It's reduced to a 19-over side game, just losing a couple of overs.
LA Knight Riders 146 for one. We've got one of their batters who's been cornerstone really for the team throughout the season, Unmuk Chan. Unmuk, you had a good season, averaging close to 40, 350s. How would you personally reflect on your time out in the middle?
Well, personally for me, I think it's been a good season, but obviously, you know, as a team, we have sort of failed to sort of capitalize on some good starts or some close games which we could have finished on the winning side. But you know, that's the nature of the sport. It's such close lines. I think it's about you know, winning those moments, and I think that's where we lagged as a team. And you know, I think it all boils down to, you know, how the team sort of does. And obviously, you know, would have been happier if we could have been on more of the winning sides. But you know, nonetheless, I think it's good learning for all of us.
Speaking of close games, you were involved in one yesterday.
Yeah.
That was quite a hectic game. Take us through, you know, the beginning of your innings to the end of it.
Well, obviously, I feel that we were very much in the game till the 17th over, in fact, and it was all under control. But then, you know, these games can go away so quickly. without realizing. And I think it was a close one. I think 1 or 2 overs where we could have sort of, capitalized. I think we missed those overs. And such is the nature of this game again. You got to make sure that you're always above the asking rate. And sadly, yesterday that could not happen. And I mean, yeah, really gutted about that, man.
And you obviously were there to the end, and then in the last over, Jason Holder, the captain, replaced you. Obviously, in that moment, you were quite upset. But reflecting on it, how do you view that entire situation?
Well, I think more than the last over, I think I feel that we lost the game in the last 3-4 overs before that. And again, as per the plans, we sort of were unable to get those boundaries, which would have been handy. And also sort of, I feel there were a lot of dot balls between that period. If you could have sort of just kept going at that time, I think it would have been easier for us, so that 17 is not left for the last over. You don't want to leave those many runs at the very last. Obviously, the wicket was slow, but again, I feel obviously Sherfin found it a little difficult to sort of carry on with the bat the way he did in the previous game. And maybe those few boundaries here and there would have made a huge difference, but those dot balls last 2 overs were a game changer, I feel, for us.
Yeah, another maximum for Andrew Fletcher as he's going nicely. Umut, you've been with this team for 3 seasons and you guys have not made the playoffs. When you reflect on it in hindsight, what do you think you guys are missing to get you over the line?
Well, I feel, this sport is all about winning those moments, and I think on those important moments, and especially if you look at this year also, I think Seattle was one of the games which was a perfect game for us, right, which we won. But other than that, we have sort of lagged. Fielding has been sort of, I feel that we dropped too many catches in the season, and that really cost us a few games. Obviously, you don't expect that to happen from professional sides, and that has been one of the major reasons why things have not gone away. But also at the same time, I think sometimes it was the batting which was collapsing early on. Bowling which was not able to get us the wickets. So it's a bit of everything, I would say, especially for this season. And I think it's all about sort of learning, taking learnings from there, and making sure that we don't commit those mistakes in the coming years.
Bats down on the ground now. Bats on the ground before the ball breaks the stumps. We've got the decision to the big screen.
Seems to be no issue. 5 years, it's been about 5 years since you've been in the USA. How would you put it into words in terms of has it been a success? What will you be sort of thinking about the most of it?
Well, obviously, I've really enjoyed the last few years in USA. Cricket has definitely gone up to a very good level. MLC started off 3 years back, and now we are at the 3rd year. It's been going. It's one of the best tournaments, if you can say, across the world. People love to play this, and obviously the local pool has also gotten better now. We feel that the difference between the 1st year and the 3rd year, it's gone much better. The locals are performing now for all the teams, which is a very good thing for the tournament. And hopefully we can have, and this year obviously 10 games we have, and hopefully we can sort of build on this in the coming years. I mean, USA cricket overall, I think there's a lot of good things happening, and I really look forward to the coming months, coming years. It's definitely going to go a long way.
Thanks so much for your time, and your team going very nicely. End of the 14th over, 158 for 1.
Partnership 64. This is a very healthy partnership between these two, and after a very good opening partnership, just shows you the value of a good start. 94 runs from the open. Regular big overs for the LA Knight Riders. They make this look so easy from a batting perspective. Andre Fletcher, he's been in good form, good use of the feet to get himself in a good position. Now, Brody Couch, 2 overs for 19. Five overs to go.
Well, let's see if he can turn up the heat some more. This fellow gets a bowl, doesn't he, a bit with Remittley.
he's going to use his pace and use it to his advantage.
Welcome back, Brody. Oh. This slot there, as we all appreciate, as we've seen here at MLC, is at night under lights too, it's a little bit slicker surface. Clears that front leg and throw in the spice here in Florida.
Leans back, trying to see if it can clear the boundary yet again. Oh, diving forward is Kareem Agor, but I think he lost it possibly in the lights.
Oh, Mr. G. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, looking for six again. Quite out of the screws that, but timing as well, and then, oh, hardly laid a hand on it. Got it in the forearm. That could have been nasty, and then you could have landed on it and gone, ooh. He's done all right there. That he hasn't actually landed on the ball after. Oh.
Jermaine Rutherford and Fletcher are putting on a show in Florida. There'll be some fireworks from LA Knight Riders to end their tournament tonight.
Holy, I'm looking forward to this next month in the Caribbean. Now the big one is, of course, the Caribbean Premier League, and these two will be involved.
Licking it to all parts. Yep. T20.
Right, Matt Short, it's been tough for him today. It's a real test of his captaincy for a few reasons. One, the injury to Maurice Ralph, the injury to Romario Shepherd as well, but also Bartlett starting off and struggling in his first over. Driving, straight he goes, but no timing at all. This is absolutely cloth, that.
Yeah, you sort of get that, don't you? Sort of living dangerously, and everything is flowing for Fletcher and Rutherford here. It's supposed to go nice and straight for six. Yeah, up against it with a challenge too with a bowler. Run into these two West Indians, and they're just simply in the mood. Entertaining the small crowd. And Alan Wilkins.
Well, bottom edge sounded like. It's quite wide of the off stump. So probably the first time they're just trying to get it out of the hitting arc by bowling it a bit wider. Really tried that too much.
Yeah, sort of that strategy you go to, that wide Yorker, and not allow these two to get underneath you. Change your pace, it's a good one though. Slower balls and this tennis ball bounces into the turf that never arrive. 12 off, 1 to go.
Still 12 from that over, despite the 2 dots to end. 170 for 1.
Yeah, tough old gig. Yeah, picking up wickets and getting people out 24 hours earlier, but then all of a sudden they get Andre Fletcher and Alex Hales getting together. Put on almost 100. They put on 94, those two, and then Rutherford's kicked into gear 2.
Overs to go. This partnership is built so nicely. 76 is worth. If it does end, I wonder where they would go to after this. Would they maybe elevate a Rahul Pal, for example? He had one good innings this year. I know it hasn't quite been his season, but just to know where they would go to after this. 4 overs to go. Here's a test of New Zealand fight. Danny Morrison.
You've seen a little bit of Lister over the years wearing a black uniform. So you look at these state projected scores. Man, this is like getting back to Grand Prairie in terms of totals posted. Here's the big fella. This little change up there with Fuller. Yeah, possesses a couple of good little off-cutters and back of the hand slower ones like this. Does possess these. Needs to be brave here. A few more of these. It's part of the requirement. They put on 76 and 45, Fletcher and Rutherford. Steamroll.
Oh dear, that's gone wrong. There's already been issues with balls over waist height today. That's definitely over waist height. No ball it is. Free hit coming.
Yeah, just talking about Yorkers and Lister trying to get it in the block hole. Oh dear. Yeah, well above the waist, so easy call.
This is his second warning. He got his first one much earlier on in his first spell, and it was given either in his first or second over that he bowled, and now he's got his second warning. So you only get the two with over waist high deliveries if they feel it's dangerous, and also the umpires are not too happy as well with the time taken in between overs by the San Francisco Unicorns.
Yeah, now spare a thought for Matt Short, the captain. He's just going to have to sort things out and find out who else is going to get on himself. He's having a chat here. Gumps. So, yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? It's a little bit of humidity, sure. And with all the rain around too, getting grip on the ball can be difficult. So, yeah, as the reef is saying, sorry you can't. That was your second over waist high full toss. Time for Matt Short himself. He's bowled a couple. Have to come in and finish this off. Seems like you're going on forever.
Spoke about this being a test of his captaincy. Well, he's down Shafane Rutherford. Or I should say, he's down Romario Shepherd. He can't bowl. And now, can't use Lister either. And it's a free hit, which, well, the Unicorns get away with for now. There'll still be an extra ball in the over. Anything can happen towards the end. So, real tough times for the Unicorns now.
And you go at sort of, well, it's sort of like Cam. Anything's possible. You go at 13 to 15s and you're up around 230. What the LA Knight Riders could achieve. Particularly these two stay in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just trying to go wide, get it out of the arc. So you come around the wicket and try and use that angle as much as he possibly can, which will be the way to go with these two and the way they are going at the moment.
And 9 off already. Now there's more discussions. Umpires getting together. Let's have a look at this ball and put it through the little hoop and let's change it. It's got a bit wet. Unicorns. Captain is the bowling crease himself. What was changed? The remitly leading wicket takers. Sadly, Harris Ralph with his hamstring issue. No longer able to play, take his part in the playing 11. So Xavier Bartlett, he can add to his tally. Hasn't so far tonight. Can't wait to get back to Dallas and get a suntan, because a lot of the players are fired up. We've got our final four. Nicky P and the gang have made it just. Buff will be there with the Super Kings, the Freedom and the Unicorns. Cognizant MLC 3.
Change of ball now. Does that change fortunes for the Unicorns? Oh, yeah. Well, not if he's going to bowl there. If you are wondering about the law and why Lister was taken out of the attack, it falls under law 41.7. If a bowler bowls a ball over waist high and the umpires deem it dangerous, you'll get a first warning. Straight he goes. New ball goes straight. That's nicely fielded. Good teamwork as well. So it falls under 41.7. If you bowl one over waist high and they consider it dangerous, you get one warning, and that's your final warning as well. So you do it a second time at the same bowler, and you're taken out of the attack. You cannot take part in the bowling further from there. Too much leg side. And it's racing away from Brodie Couch.
Coach Shane Watson, well, he was a little animated, wasn't he, at time out, so think about how he's feeling as well. 15 off this. Fletcher, with those wrists and a bit of whippage, causing concerns for those in orange.
Andre Fletcher finishes the over in style, and it's worth 21. They are only just short of 200. Highest total at this ground in Cognizant MLC as we take a strategic timeout. Trouble for Matt Short. We're down a couple of bowlers. And runs are flowing far too easily. This partnership, 97.52. Rutherford is just one short of a half century. Fletcher's gone past the half century already. But they had an excellent start due to a wonderful opening partnership, Danny.
In the sun before the rain came, and it hails, and it's saying this, why didn't they play like this earlier on? What's going on? Particularly Alex Hales, who's had a horror. At least Spiceman's had a couple of scores and a bit of time out here. So these two very gifted right-handers with all their experience and panache, boshing it big. Tall man, Alex Hales, with that extra reach, and that had a hostess on it. Little open blade. Cuts it late. He's got all the shots in the book. Hales. Half century. Gone. And into Hales, it's the only wicket to fall, and then you had Jafane Rutherford out of Guyana come in, and then the rain came and had that delay, and they were having a good time, these two, and then they just carried on their merry way. Slapped it everywhere. A little bit of flickage. Spiceman brought up a half century. And then there's the cabin crew as well. Oh, and some more. A380. Caning it. Oh, please. So that was dropped, this one. Get there, get there. Oh, Mr. Gore. No. Shafane Rutherford. Man, he hits a long one. There's that extra high, waist-high delivery. It got rid of Lister out of the attack, sadly, for the Unicorns. Had to go. There you go.
Yeah, 191 they've got already. Highest score we've had in Cognizant MLC at this ground.
Well, we saw in Oakland, we saw how good the cricket community was there, how much they know. We checked it in Dallas, and since it's the last game here in Lauderhill, we thought let's check the knowledge of the folks down the road. So I'm just going to go down the line. All right, I'm going to have you guys signal. How do you signal a wicket? If someone gets out, what does the umpire signal? What do you do? There you go, he's on. All right, we're 1 of 1. All right, down here, how do you signal for a review? If you need to take a review, where are we going? All right, that's good. They sent it upstairs. And this one's up in the air and taken in the end, much to the dismay of the crowd out here. We'll send it back upstairs.
Top catch that by Sanjay Krishnamurthy. Went a long way up into the air, and we've been talking about depth perception and the fact that it's quite difficult under the lights, so this is a good catch. A full toss. Quite fortunate as the bowler that it doesn't get planted into the
Just how do we challenge? You had it. All right, they're there, almost. It's the T that we got to get. 4 of 5, not bad here in Broward County.
Hopefully they're not challenging you up there. Oh man, nice job. We like it. We absolutely love having them about. Well invested in the game. Rovman Powell has made his way to the middle. And just to remind everybody, it's 19 overs. Look at the dismissal.
Very good batting, 49 of 28. Just doesn't quite get the contact. Cognizant clutch catch. Yes, please. We'll have some of that. Desperately needed to get Rutherford out. 3 off this over has been something else for the last half a dozen overs that have gone for absolutely plenty. The last 30 balls, Pommy, 65 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's been the story of this innings, really. Power play was big, 76 for none. And these middle overs, 6 to 16, 115 for 1. So it's been a nigh on perfect.
Yeah, 188 yesterday, and we thought that was well above par. And perhaps with more sun on this pitch, might have behaved that bit better. Nice shot. And they'll pick up a couple. I do wonder, though, in watching the way that the Unicorns started out, you know, if it is about the pitch or more about them and then trying to catch up in the game and failing to do so.
It was just, for me, it was just really about the game situation, just sliding away from them inside those first 6, as I mentioned. 76 for no loss. That's
nicely nudged. A good over under the circumstances, just 7 off. Bartlett's done 1 for 44. It's 198 for 2.
Oh, the happy camper. He knows Shane Watson, World Cup wins on everything in his time. Very fine players. All formats. He knows better than anyone that if you let competition slide, you put yourself in absolute perilous situation.
Yep, he didn't like what he saw.
He is saying there stuff that we probably can't repeat on air, but it's about standards. Come on. This is not a joke, fellas. This is coming to the pointy end of the stick. We're going to move venues after tonight. We want to be good. In fact, we want to be the best in the competition. We came second last year because we didn't quite clutch our opportunities. This year, if we want to be the best, we've got to set our standards high, and we've got to be on ball by ball. Every ball is an event. A champion like Watson knows it, and he told his team as much.
And you know what? At no point would you be forgiven for not being on it, right? But perhaps in a situation where shot, oh wow, he's absolutely nailed that. And another one disappears into the night sky off the bat of the Spiceman. 200 comes up too.
Sugar and spice and all things nice. Pop. A little sweetener. Just on a length, just driven deep. NTT Data 6, yes, of course.
And batters love one in the slot, don't they?
It's delicious.
Oh boy. On to 86. Spiceman. Yeah, it may be wide. Short and too high. Yeah, I was just saying, you can't not be on it. In a game, it's a contest. You've got to be out there, ready to compete and wanting to make sure you give no inch away. Especially when there's a whole lot riding on it. So you've had a decent competition. They've lost 2 out of the last 3 they'd played, and this is number 4. They just won the one before. And so what they'd have hoped as a group is that it just moves them back in the right direction. But at the start there, and that's why Watson was going at them, it just looked like they weren't here, like it didn't matter this game.
Another wide, so lots of mistakes coming as well, which is also never a good sign that your attitude, should it be contagious, which is yours worth catching. Something that Steve Ward told me a long time ago in the group. You know, it's just such a simple thing. When you think of the margins of this game, they're so few. 1 run, 2 runs here. Sharp. It all starts to unravel. It just coils around you. Luck like this doesn't go your way. The contact becomes better. The mistakes just emphasize how important it is that every ball counts. In his shadows there at the moment, because he knew even back then that this is what may unfold. And typically when you take your eye off the ball, you know what happens, folks.
Wow, that has gone a long way. What a shot. He's absolutely smoking them tonight.
Well, that's gone out to Christmas, out to December. That is massive. It's so high, but it's also handsome. 12 and a bit runs per over, Pommy. Projections, they are big.
Yep. Nothing wrong with his power and fitness and strength tonight. No retired out gonna happen, I can tell you that. Yeah, a lot of head scratching if you're Matthew Short. Oopsie, that might well be no ball, you know. It's outside the cut stuff. Absolutely everything going wrong. Just think of anything you like, and it's kind of gone against them tonight. Just not quite able to put it together. Yep, that's outside the return crease. Look at that. Miles out there. There you go. No ball. And as I say, yeah, as I say, if you think of anything that could happen on the field, injury, drop a catch here, wides there, go for too many in the power play, look like you're not even here, coach come at you and just trying to catch up with the game and failing. Free hit. Tonked away into the night. Then the Spice Man raises his arms aloft because he's got a century. Another one. 102 he goes to off just 52 balls. And what ball striking here tonight.
One of my favourite islands in the West Indies. Beautiful country of Grenada. 37 years of young age, tocking away for fun. Second 100 in the last 5 innings in the MLC. 5th overall in T20 career. And we have witnessed something very special on a difficult wicket. Thought it was the last ball, but we can keep blowing up the tyres of the Spice Man here because this is something to behold. Look at that smile. It's as wide as the fullest moon you've seen. The deeds just coming into his action as well. So it's a lovely moment between the West Indian connections.
He's caught up with that as well. That's a good effort. And don't you worry, he'll stay at the striker's end right up the other side. No, don't come back for 2. I've got this. 2-2-6 for 2. Well, the Los Angeles Knight Riders being dragged here by Andre Fletcher, the Spice Man. 103 from 53 and still out there and over to go. They're playing fly in the ointment and doing it brilliantly. Oh, it's just popped that over again. Easy as you like. Sixer to start the final over. 42 runs off the last 10 balls.
Yeah, it's been a frenzy of runs. Fortunately here for the Unicorns, It's almost at a point where it's just a bleed out. It would take something incredibly special this evening. We all hope, folks, that it's going to be a close one, but at the moment it's just an absolute feeding frenzy for the Spice Man.
He's hit that hard as well. It won't get to the fence. They'll be back for a second. And look at some of this hitting, Doss.
10 unders and 7 maximums. They're so scared to bowl to him. Saw one off the surface. Thought, I don't want to go anywhere near that. That is just anywhere close is just carnage. Have to take it outside the hitting zone. Or just go.
Is off 19 balls. The last 30 balls have gone for 88. And the sixes have been that long. It's Fletcher's highest score in his 19 years of T20 cricket. That's straight to the fielder. He'll take just one. Knight Riders' highest ever total in MLC as well. Oh, just a heaping misery on the Unicorns.
What's he writing there, Shane Watson? I've been met? Or was it a case of, I hate to tell you, I told you so? Unbelievable.
Right. So the final Right. So the final delivery illegal, if it is. 243 already, so big a total. Didn't quite get all of that, and the catch will be taken by Jake Fraser-McGurk. It's a top catch. Running in and just getting by Jake Fraser-McGurk. It's a top catch. Running in.